Hi everyone, my name is Lori, my nickname is Reenie, and this is Reenie Bobini Creations. If this is the first time you've stopped by and checked out my channel, I'd like to offer you a very warm welcome. And to my amazing subscribers, I'm so glad you're back. Today we're going to take a pair of skates I picked up at the thrift store and turn them into something absolutely beautiful. But I do have to tell you, I did lose some footage. In fact, I almost bailed entirely on this because of the lost footage. But they were so cute, I decided just to go with it anyway, so you'll see what I mean coming up here. Anyway, please do remember to like, subscribe, and share. It makes a huge difference here, and I don't want to be a bookkeeper forever and ever. Anyways, let's stop gabbing and we'll get on with the crafting. Okay guys, so it's the footage up to this point that I lost, but I figure it's fairly simple and self-explanatory, so I'll just let you know what I did. I just painted the skates with, I used pink sparkly paint, but you can use whatever color you like, with sparkles, without, it doesn't matter, whatever suits you. And then I simply Mod Podged some lace on, and this lace was just an old shawl that I had in my stash. So use whatever lace you have on hand and just Mod Podge it, and we are now at the part where we're about to clean that up. So we'll just carry on from here. Alright, so we've got our lace on our skates, and I know it's not showing up real well, but it will when we're done. So the next thing we're going to do is trim off all this excess, and I'm going to do both scissors and my box cutters, which are all old and beat up, but they're super sharp and they're my favorites. So to start, we'll just cut the big sections off here. I won't worry about getting too precise because I'll use the knife for that. So that's got her pretty close, and then I'm just going to go around the boot here with my knife just to get the edges a little bit tidier. Now, some of these other edges I'm not worried about because they're going to be hidden. So we will start with our knife here and just go around the outside, getting any of the little bits. And like I said, if it's not perfect, or we're going to do some decorating, and so we're going to hide some of those rough edges. So the other thing I'm quickly going to do is just take the pointy end of my knife and open up our lace holes again. Just like so. Alright, and I'm not worried about this boot end. I will probably tidy it up when we get there, but for the moment that's not really what I'm concerned with. So the next thing we're going to do is a dry brush technique on here, just to really make the lace pop out a bit better. So just plain old acrylic. I'm so excited at my Dollarama, they have the acrylic paints in these big ones now. So for the colors I use a lot, the white and the black, it's a great value. So I was really happy to see those, because I use a ton of these, and I make my own chalk paint quite often as well, and so it's kind of nice to have these ones. Oops. Alright, good enough for what we're doing. So I'm going to take my crummy old beat up brush. This is one I love to do this. It's quite stiff now. It's been around way long, but it does this so perfectly. So I'm just going to dip the tips in the paint, and I'm going to wipe most of it off. So I'm just left with a bit on there. And then lightly, I'm not going to push, I don't want it to go through, I just want to go over our lace so it stands out. Okay, so our skates all been highlighted, the lace on there. This is sort of what we're left with at the moment. Don't worry, it'll look much better when we're done. But I wanted to do something just to give this a little bit of a something. So I've got this, it's called Dragonfly Glaze, and it's kind of got a shimmer to it. And I thought I'll just add that on, and just to give it a little pizzazz. So, oops, it's been upside down. There we go. So I'm just gonna give it, I might give it 2 coats, we'll see how it looks. And just along the black. I do have a plan for the blade itself later when we're to that part. But yeah, I thought just to give it a little sparkle, a little sheen, so it's not so dull. And I'm gonna do the underside too. So once it's all dry, I've just pulled out some things that I thought would go quite nicely. So I've got some of these pearls, and I think I like these ones. They've kind of got a pink iridescent feel to them. So we'll start with those ones. And I'm just going to start by, actually I am missing a step here. I always save my ribbon, you never know, and this is about the perfect color, so I don't even know what this came off of, to be honest, but we're going to use some of this. So you'll need your handy glue gun now. These gloves help me from burning my fingers, but they make some things a little bit more difficult, to be honest. There we go. So I'm just going to start by covering our toe, the seam on our toe. We're just going to cover that up, just like that. So just taking our trusty glue gun and just running a bead. There we go. That off, and we'll be hiding some more of this, so don't even worry about it. And then I am going to do the same to the back side here as well. So just using our hot glue gun. Alright, so now we're going to get started with our beads. So I'm going to start at the toe. Let's get that out of the way here. And just work my way all the way around. I think I'm going to run one on either side of the toe here as well, just to sort of tie it all together. Okay, so that's what we're left with so far. So the next thing I want to do is for this back edge. I just want to tidy it up a little. Now I was going to do the pearls, and I still think I'm going to, but before I do that, because I'm going to put a fur cuff So I just got this from the Dollarama. It's $3 for the roll. There's going to be way more than I need on here. And I think I'm going to cut it in half. I think half would be pretty good for that, yeah. So I'm just going to sort of measure out how much I think I'll need. But I'll just get a little bit extra just in case. So I'm going to cut it in half. Or, sorry, cut the chunk off. There. Get that out of the way. And then I'm going to cut it in half this way. So for that piece, we'll get 2 skates. Get the pair. There we go. So, just get some of this extra off. It's a little bit mucky to work with. Let's just give them a trim. It looks the same all the way around. There we go. I think we will put him to the top like that. And I'm just going to glue him right on, but I'm just going to do the top edge so I can still lift the other edge. Oops, out of glue gun. Okay, so we'll just do a bead along the top here. So now he's got his fur cuff. So now what I thought I would do along the back here is do a crisscross, but I do want some big pearls to hold that crisscross down. So as I was actually looking for my pearls, I remembered I bought these guys and I love the little hearts. I think they'll be a good bit of the silver sparkle, which I'm gonna incorporate here. So I'm gonna go with these hearts. I'm probably gonna cut them off of here, but instead of the pearls that I was originally thinking. So we're still gonna crisscross our ribbon, and I'm hoping I can hold this and show you. So what you want to do is you want to do it like a shoelace. So you want to more than double what you're going to do. So if I'm doing like that much, I'm going to want enough to crisscross them and still tie a bow at the end. So I'm going to go with quite a bit extra here. I can always trim it off if I've gotten too much, but it's a little hard to add on this one. It's possible, but not as easy. Okay, so, and with my pink, I'm going to fold it in half. Find my center. And then I'm just going to put a line of glue along the top. Just like that. Then I am going to put my ribbon in there. And I want it to get a bit dry here first so that it's not moving on me while I'm trying to crisscross. Okay, so then we're just going to, on either side, about the same spacing, put a dot. And you're going to flip it. Crisscross it, and we'll just continue that right the way down here. So now before I be tying my bow, we're going to do these guys. There. And I am going to cut the hearts off. Just like that. And then I'm just going to run them down the side. tuck one up and under. Do not want to glue that in. I think what I will do actually is I'll start from the bottom. That's what we're left with, and then we'll just tie our little bow. So I wanted to add a little bit more of the silver, so I had some of the diamond mesh. Mine was actually on the roll from the Dollarama, and I'm just going to run a row of that right above our pearls there, all the way around the boot. And I decided to run a row right in between the pearls on the toe as well. And this is what our little boot looks like now. Then I wanted to do something along the edge of the fur just to kind of give it a finished feel. So I dug in my stash and I found some lace. And I am just going to go ahead and glue that lace. I'll glue it to the underside of our faux fur there. And I really like the way that looked. It just kind of finished off that fur nicely. So yeah, I'm really liking the way this is coming together. Okay, so for this next part on the skates, you're kind of going to want to know which way you're going to hang your skates. So I've decided to go with this way here. And because I have a Cricut, I used a Cricut and I just cut me out some snowflakes. If you don't have one, the Dollarama and the dollar store, they have some stunning snowflake stickers and that kind of thing. Or if you're super handy, I am not a good snowflake cutter. I absolutely love beautiful snowflakes. I am not very good at cutting them, so that's not going to be my thing. But I'm going to put one on either side here. Now, the other thing, just to bling it up just a little bit, I found these are some of those beautiful snowflakes I was saying, but I didn't want the teal, so I just took the one out and put a pearl in the middle to keep with our sort of shabby chic design here. So to do the snowflakes, I am going to use the 2 glue method. I'm going to use some regular, I'll probably use my Gorilla Glue just because it's out and handy, and I'm going to use the hot glue just to get it to stay while it dries properly. So I'm just going to put a bit of hot glue sort of on the edges where it's going to poke up, but I'm going to put the rest of the glue on the rest. So just using that 2 glue method. So my Gorilla Glue, just because it's open, any kind of, glue would work. I'm going to get my smaller paintbrush again, because it's got tiny lines. There we go. So now what we're going to do is lace our boots. Now I'm going to definitely need to poke some bigger holes in here from where our lace is. So I have this little tool. I use it for, well, all kinds of stuff. I use it to weed my cricket. I use it for anytime I need a hole. I just love these things. And they come in all different, a perfectly straight one, this bent one, there's some different shapes to them, and I find them really handy in my craft room. They were actually my husband's, and he never used them, and he said, "Do you have a use for these?" And I thought, I don't know, but you know, maybe I'll take them and see. Well, it turns out I use them all the time, so it was excellent. You just want to make your holes big enough because we are going to, as I said, lace them. Quite literally, actually, we're going to use lace to lace them. There. Alright, so I was gonna just lace them up, and I'm 99% sure that the lacing will hide this, but I'll be really annoyed if it doesn't, and I spent all that time. So I'm just gonna take some more of our little bling, our silver bling, and run it around the edge. I've cut it into 3 strips, so I'll sort of have one on the top and one on either side, just to make sure we hide that rough edge. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that the lacing will do it, but yeah, I'll be really annoyed if I go to all that trouble and then have to take it all apart again. So we're just gonna do it this way. So again, just using the hot glue, I find with the rough surface of the lace, the hot glue does just fine. And I'll put the middle one on first, and then I'll just wrap the other sides around once I'm got it in place. Thought I'd better zoom in so you can see what I mean when I say I'm going to wrap it around. So you can see I'm just putting the glue right along the edge, and I'm putting the middle of the 3 sections of bling on that, and then I'm sort of rolling them over the edges. So I hope you can see what I'm doing and that it makes sense. And then once that middle is good and adhered, I will run some glue down either side to get it to stay tucked around that rough edge. And of course I'll do that to both sides on both boots. So there's our edges all hidden. I think that looks much better. I feel much better about it. So now we're gonna lace it up. So I had this silver, a pink, and then just this lace, and I'm just gonna use that to lace it, but I'm not gonna go all the way to the top, and I'll show you why after. Now I will tell you this is a bit of a pain in the tush. It does not, the holes are kind of small and stiff, and it's a little bit difficult to get your fingers in there. So just once you get it going, especially those first holes, they are a bit of a pain. I'm not even gonna lie. There. That was better than, I tried it on the first one to make sure they'd fit through. Before I tried filming it, they do, but this one was actually a little bit easier than that one. We'll see if that continues to be the case. So just take your time, and I'm gonna go up to just about there with my ribbon, and I'll show you the final thing, or with the laces. So once this is laced, I'll come back. I won't make you watch me sit here and struggle with it because it is a pain, but and you can use whatever you have in your stash. I had this in my stash. I thought the shiny and the pink and all that kind of goes pretty well with it. So I will finish lacing it up, and then we'll go on to the final touches. So we got them all laced up, and we're just going to do the kind of final little touches here. I'm going to put a row of the pearls around the top just to give it a finishing. So we'll start with that. just trimmed her all off there. So now the next part I want to do is make the bow. And I'm kind of running out of this, so I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm not going to tie it. Get my other tail out here. And then just using some regular ribbon, I'm just going to tie a knot in it to hold it in place. Using that same pink, we'll tail the ends here in a minute. I'm gonna do something similar. This one, I'm just actually, it's a little trick I like because I find it really hard to hold it and tie it and keep it even. So I just put a dab of hot glue and I give it a twist and I hold it for a minute. And then we have a little bow, so that's going to go in there as well. And then with the pearls, I'm going to do one more kind of little bow. And again, I'm just going to use hot glue gun to make this work because we are going to hide the middle part and it'll be fine. So I'm just going to make like a, how did I do this before that was easiest? A bit smaller though, especially that one side. I'm going to do the same thing, just put a dab of glue to hold it. And then we're going to actually put it on this guy. So I did get that little heart from the Dollarama. And I'm just going to put all of those right on the heart. And then I even found a little pink gem heart in my stash from the Dollarama that I'm going to put right in the middle just to finish that whole thing right off. Alright, so now we're going to put a big white ribbon on. I love this ribbon with the snowflakes. Oh, we should dovetail the ends here first. Just gonna pop them, probably right about there is good. And we're gonna put our heart right in the middle. And then I thought just for one final touch before we put our florals in there, I'm gonna just put these two on there, and I thought that was just a subtle final little touch, and I really liked. what they sort of look like from the top. So now I'm just going to put the floral in one of them. So I'm going to be hanging them sort of offset. So the top one I will put the florals in and leave the bottom ones. And I'll put a hanger on here when we're done. So for the florals, I got all these flowers given to me. In fact, the pink, this was the inspiration for some of the shabby chic pink stuff I wanted to do. And so just to put them in, I've just got this piece of styrofoam. And I'm just gonna break pieces off and stuff it down in the shoe. Actually, that might just be enough right there. So now I'm just gonna start playing and popping things in until I'm happy with it. I have some snowflakes and some holly and all the bits, and I'm just gonna play till it's where I like it. And there's one more step I meant to do earlier and completely forgot. So we are going to sparkle up our blades. So just using some Elmer's Clear School Glue, I'm going to take a paintbrush and give those blades a pretty good thick coat of the school glue. And then I've got some absolutely beautiful, it's like white iridescent sparkle. And it's not really chunky, but a little bit. And I really, really think it's pretty. So we're totally going to do both blades in that. And you'll see I'm doing it in a cardboard here just to keep the mess to a minimum. And that also helps so you can sort of dump whatever you don't use back in. So here's our final product. I am so happy with them. I think they turned out just adorable, and I hope you guys love them too.